Hi there and welcome everybody to the first episode of the Inquisition. This is a series I'd like to do as often as possible. I'll most likely first do it maybe one month by month, and as things progress, maybe increase the frequency. So yeah, this series is basically just for me to chat to you with your submissions for questions, and I'll answer your questions. And also, basically, I'll just talk about tech news that's been handling in the last period since the last video. Well, in this case, since the beginning of the year 2017, and also basically just discussing a lot of things tech related and even non-tech related. So let's start. So, tech news. What can we say? CES 2017 came and gone. It's been interesting. As you can see on the monitor, they had a lot of exhibitions. Excuse my swearing. It's hot here. It's 28 at centigrade at night when I'm recording. It was a 38 degrees centigrade day today, so quite hot still. And the aircon's off, so you can see online basically not much. It was a lot of new tech and new things, and a lot of expectations were there, but yeah, that's another story. Overall, CES was quite well, and a lot of tech bloggers and YouTubers basically had their piece. So if you go onto YouTube, you'll see a lot of videos regarding CES, regarding AMD, a lot of stuff from LG, Project Valerie, and best of CES and all that stuff. All good. So if you want to, go look for CES 2017 on YouTube, and you might find some information. I will basically, for everything that I talk about in this video, I will put the links in the description down below. So if you want to go have a look at for yourselves, by all means, the links will be there. So moving on from CES 2017, which was interesting. I'm not going to go into detail because I wasn't there. I'm going to talk about something I wasn't really involved with. So just going to give you a heads up where to find more information regarding CES 2017. What's next on my list of things to talk about? Kaby Lake. It's finally here. So I'm looking at trusted reviews, and they've basically gone through the whole new generations of 7th generation processors, all the different SKUs, and basically giving you a whole rundown of what Kaby Lake is and what it is not. All I can take from this is the second talk, or actually I call it the grumble, because TikTok grumble, because there's not really much in terms of optimization. This is just basically aligning the old Skylake optimization of the 40 nanometer, which was introduced by, Broadwell. Now, Broadwell bought in 14 nanometer. Skylake optimized it quite well. Kaby Lake, slight updates, slight improvements, but mainly introducing new features like Optane memory support. Optane, it's basically what Intel is trying to drive, and that's why Kaby Lake's there, driving Optane. It's got a bit of a performance bump in terms of clocks, but basically it's Skylake on steroids. Steroids injected into Skylake. Basically that's it. And a couple of new SKUs that wasn't available in Skylake, like this i3-7350K, which is quite an odd CPU, really. a dual core with hyper-threading, so basically a virtual 4-core. Excuse my sweating. Again, I do ask your apologies. It is quite hot, unfortunately, so you have to bear with me. So yeah, dual core processor, 4 threads, overclockable. You won't really benefit from it that much. You can buy a locked i5, which has got 4 real cores, for almost exactly the same price as you can buy for the i3 7350K, and roughly at the same speed, and it'll basically outperform this CPU. Yes, you can overclock it. You get a little bit of a performance boost, but it'll still suffer when it gets to intensive threading in thread intensive programs. So I wouldn't even bother with that. But anyway, if you want to find out more about Kaby Lake and all the SKUs available, I would recommend reading this article from Trusted Reviews. You'll basically see all the presentation slides that was released by Intel, and you'll see all the specific SKUs for laptops, desktops, and even the U's, which are used in usually smaller type devices like NUCs and such. So yeah, that was fun. Next on the news, Vega. It finally got released. Or actually not released, introduced. AMD finally produced some information and some slides and some demonstrations and yes, physical demos where Doom and such was running impressively. Although I'm still not 100% sold, I would still prefer more third-party reviews. So we'll have to wait and see when it finally gets done. I know for a fact at this moment in time I won't get my hands on any, so I won't be able to do those reviews myself, but I am definitely interested in waiting for guys like your favorite tech reviewers who would have access to these chips and also motherboards that are available for them. And even, I'm talking about Ryzen, but for Vega, basically getting access to these display cards and GPUs at an early date, even before release. So I wouldn't even bother trying to talk too much about it. I know it's promising a lot in terms of memory optimizations and the way it handles new processing and the new compute units and all that stuff. HBM2 is a big selling point for it. All good and fine, but I'm just feeling slightly disappointed. Vega's actually what would have brought AMD into the competition again, and it's a year late, literally. Polaris was the letdown. Okay, yes, they focused mainly on the mainstream market. Good, but now you're bringing out a high-end GPU, which actually now, at the moment, looks like it's performing at the level of a 1080, 1070, but they're claiming a lot about Titan X Killer and all that stuff. No, it will beat the 1080 Ti whenever it finally bloody well makes its appearance, but this is all speculation. I want to see real third-party reviews actually in benchmarks that actually prove it. At the moment, there's a lot of promises, a lot of hype, and I feel like I've been there before. I've seen this happen before with Polaris. A lot of hype, and it was a massive letdown. So I call me cautiously pessimistic because I've seen this happen too many times. So I like what's being promised, but I'll only believe it when I see it. Yes, I've seen demos, but in my books, That's just a demo that I have no ability to verify what went on. So it's all good. It looks nice and all fine. I take it for what it is, and don't think I'm gonna just jump on board. I'm not gonna go with the hype train. Sorry, don't. It's not worth it. But as you can see, you can have a look at all these slides, basically discussing the whole new architecture of Vega, all the promises with the new high bandwidth cache controllers and memory access and bigger access addressable memory address space, and even the new memory interchange architecture, which promises a lot. But yeah, again, cautiously optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. I don't know. I know it's impossible, but that's how I want to put myself. If it actually delivers, I might jump ship from Nvidia for a Vega card, but I'm just slightly afraid this is a generation behind. This is a generation that should have been with Polaris, that should have basically competed with Pascal. Pascal refresh is coming this year. Even Volta is coming in later this year. What then? Are we going to sit with the situation that Vega again falls behind? That's to be seen. I wouldn't want to be in AMD's books at the moment. But yeah. Here's all this link will be available to video cards, so have a look and see if you like it. Next item on the list, Nvidia's Keynote and the much hyped anticipation of the 1080 Ti, which didn't happen. Literally. Everybody was believing and thinking, yes, 1080 Ti, it's gonna happen. Didn't happen. Why? Trusted sources. Video cards fell into the trap. WCCF fell into it. A lot of other tech sites got on board with the hype because I guess there wasn't much in terms of actual news or hype to flow with. So everybody wants it to be true, so they jumped on board. And as usual, when the hype train flows, people get too hyped up and get way disappointed when nothing happens. And as I know, a lot of fanboys were peeved when 1080 Ti didn't realize. And as such, I can tell you, I wasn't one of them. Because for a fact, I knew it's not going to happen. Vega is new. It's still an unknown quantity. Yes, it's been demoed equivalent to a 1080. Why would Nvidia now suddenly just drop a 1080 Ti? Most current estimates look like Vega's 1080 Ti-ish, between 1070 and 1080. Maybe it'll be better when the drivers get more optimized for it and actually is more like mature drivers, but at the moment there's nothing really that pushes Nvidia to say, yes, let's drop the 1080 Ti, we're in trouble, we're going to lose market share. No. Vega, why worry? Literally, why worry? Nvidia is not going to drop the 1080 Ti until Vega has actually proven itself. And even then, now that we know Vega is only coming in later this year, maybe middle of the year only. You know what Nvidia is going to do? They're going to most likely delay, just basically in the same week that Vega is supposed to go release to the world. Guess what? Nvidia will do whatever they always do every year. Just before AMD comes out with a new GPU or new card based on a new GPU architecture, say here's an alternative, and they steal the market away just before. That's what they do, and that works for them. Kudos to Nvidia. So yeah, here you can see all the time frames and discussions regarding the CEO's keynote and the lack of a 1080 Ti. And yeah, that's what my feeling is about it. Next, FreeSync 2. AMD finally is upping their FreeSync game. And yeah, a lot of promises. Let's talk about HDR. As you can see, whoopee. It's just FreeSync with additional 10-bit and HDR support. Yes, cool. When's it coming? Where's the products? This is where AMD made a mistake. They released information regarding this technology. Yes, but there's nothing to demo it. There's nothing to actually show it in action. So all this is hypothetical until it actually gets proven. Unlike G-Sync. Yes, Nvidia again stole the storm, just as we talked. Here's a video from Nvidia themselves where they discuss the whole G-Sync implementation. As you can see there, there's a whole discussion there. Well, I've disabled this sound for this recording, so you won't be actually hearing anything, so don't expect too much. But yeah, a whole discussion how HDR works on G-Sync 2, and here's the information page regarding G-Sync with HDR support. A whole technical piece, and even 2 bloody monitors. Yes, 2 monitors available, demoed, showing off the capabilities. This is what AMD should have had there. They should have announced it with working demo screens. Why didn't they do that? Again, if you release something on paper launched something which is now still an unknown entity. You will basically not be able to see any physical implementation of FreeSync 2 until somebody finally actually makes a FreeSync 2 monitor. So again, until that happens, we don't know. We can't say anything. Moving on from that, we know EVGA suffered a lot with the ACX3 coolers on their 10 series Nvidia GPUs. And they've made a fixes, but I think they've learned a lot because guess what? They're releasing a new, improved designed cooler for the 10 series called ICX. Now, this promises a lot in terms of cooling performance, much better than ACX3, which I am quite interested to see what happens there if it actually does deliver. So, let's fingers crossed, and hopefully it'll do what it's promised to do. Gamers Nexus actually has already done some in-depth reviews of the new coolers and had a look, and I must say, it looks pretty nice. Pretty very, very nice. Some more beefy contacts, a lot more contacts for the VRMs and such. Better backplate cooling. I would say they've actually upped the ante quite well in terms of cooling, even introducing some new hybrid water cooling solutions for like EK's quick disconnects, something similar. They call it a QRG system. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but interesting. They're getting into CPU cooling also. But yeah, that's something for a later day. Now, Razer. They displayed this new triple screen laptop. Actually had two models on display there, two concepts, and both were stylish. Seriously, Razer, you need to up your security, guys. What were your security guys doing? Were they just thinking, oh, this guy went in with a laptop, he's coming out with a laptop? Fine. If you need help with your next show where you need security, I'm available for consultation. It might be a little bit, they might not survive stealing anything, but yes, at least you won't lose it, or it won't end up on the Chinese black market, as we've seen from Extreme Tech. Those very same three-screen laptops trying to be sold for nearly $22,000 US dollars. Now, Razer, you've offered a $25,000 reward. Just use it and buy the bloody things back. That's the easiest, but if you really want to prove a point, good luck. Moving on from there, a lot of new console-size pre-built machines have been doing the rounds, and yes, Trident from MSI, Trident 3 from MSI, it's one of them, currently available only with a 1060 GPU. I would say they're basically running a laptop class CPU, although it is 7th gen, so Kaby Lake already. You can see from the link here. Yeah, Kaby Lake i5, i7, not K-SKU, so not unlocked and overclockable, running on the H110 motherboard. Interesting. Although only CL80A hard drive support, that might be slightly average performance. Currently, it's got 1060 GPU setups, but they do promise 1070 GPUs at a later stage. Sounds promising, but yeah, still want to see it in action and get some real third-party reviews done on it. Another competitor for MSI, Gigabyte. They've introduced two BRICS gaming GT models. One with a 1070 already available, and another one with a 1080. Now they both got this weird, nice design where the top actually flips open, to release more hot air as it requires. So thermal design is quite well thought out. Like the design, looks good. Even RGB LEDs, so that what you're seeing there on the screen, blue, can be another color, and seems to be quite sporty. Like it. Although these are still rocking the Skylake generation CPUs with 16 and 32 gig memory models. The only difference is basically memory and GPUs. So you've got a 1070 there and a 1080 model. Okay, NK. So keep your eyes open if you want one of those. You're looking at trying to use these, and these got K-SKU CPUs. K-SKU. My word. That's a hell of a lot better than the MSI models. It even looks roughly similar. Okay, it might be slightly bigger, but again, that's me. But my personal option, if it comes to console-size gaming, is just build your own bloody thing. And that's where the Century console-size game from Dr. Zaber, actually, they've basically extended their crowdfunding. So I think the first batches of black and white black has been sold out, white is almost sold out, and so if you want to get a white console case, you better move on this. A link will be here, so you can go support and get this as a benefit. I've already done one for black ones. There's more details following on that. Again, there's also batches where you can have both black and a white one. Definitely go have a look. If you're really interested in building your own console size, really this is roughly the same size as an old Xbox 360 console, or even the old Xbox One. I'm not precisely sure, but one of those two consoles, it's small enough to be carried around in a backpack. Seriously. Console size, go anywhere, battle box. Even a render rig if you want to, if you've got a big enough CPU and RAM and GPU in there. So yeah, that's tech news. Moving on. So this section of the Inquisition is what I call Inquire Me This. This is where you would post questions on the previous video, and I will try and answer as much of them as possible. But since this is the first video, I will now basically revert to a couple of questions I've picked up in video comments and as such on the web. So, without further ado, why did I start the channel? Basically, I decided I've seen other guys do it, and I actually am interested. This is something I'm very interested in. I've been working in IT for over 20 years. Almost 20 years. And yeah, it's good to work in IT, but still, working for a boss sucks. You never have your own freedom, and that's something I really want to go for. So, all in all, yeah, I just basically started this and trying my best to see if I can actually make something out of it. So, with your support and such, I hopefully will one day be able to make this bigger, make this my primary focus, and actually try and improve it and make it more entertaining to you as viewers. That's my main goal, so hopefully it will work. Next question. Will I be doing more reviews? Well, I've done a couple of reviews on microphones, stands from Manfrotto. I've done one laptop review, which has almost 40,000 views at this stage. It's actually my biggest video that's done the best so far. Yeah, so I will be definitely doing more reviews. I am currently in the process of making a review on the Apple Watch Series 2. And also there are a couple of other reviews based on the build I'm currently doing for Spartan 1.3, which yes, I'm still busy with it. Yes, I will eventually finish it. Yes, it's staring me right in the flipping face, but yes, there will be more reviews. So keep your eyes peeled, be subscribed, and maybe you'll see it happen, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Do I think Nvidia will actually nerf GIMP Maxwell? Now, most of you might know that I have a long-running series on which I call Nerf Hunt, which is currently investigating the possibility of Nvidia nerfing the 900 series Maxwell processors after the release of Pascal. Now, so far there's no real indication of nerfing, but the performance has gone down slightly. again, we're thinking it's more in terms of the older games not being supported. The new games still have good performance, even especially the performance on the X12 side seems to be increasing slightly. So to catch 22 at the moment, I would say if you've got newer games, yes, it's fine. But if you've got older games, you might see them not being supported anymore as they would have been when they were released. So, yes, I know Nvidia focuses a lot on new games, performance upgrades for new games, and somewhere along the line there's going to be a trade-off where something is too old for them to actually care about, and then not going to bother with optimization for certain games or programs anymore. So at that stage, I would say yes, expect expect the unexpected. At the moment, no nerfing is happening, but yes, at some point it will happen. And eventually, I would say most likely when Volta becomes a reality and mainstream, yes, Maxwell will start to become legacy. Just how it is. When will I finish Spartan 1.3? Like I said, it's work in progress. I just need time to actually focus on it. And yes, at the moment, the bare bones chassis is currently looming and staring me right in the bloody face. And still have to disassemble the original Spartan 1.1, clean everything because it's dirty as hell, and actually get to the reconstruction phase. So that means I will be down for most likely a week in terms of not doing anything capable for the channel. So I'll most likely have to first sort out a lot of content to be scheduled during that time frame, and then hopefully I can focus on doing it and get it done. So here's hoping to the first quarter of 2017 to actually get it done. Why do I use Greek-related PC names like Spartan, Cerberus, and such? Um, no, it's just an interesting concept. I love Greek mythology. Um, and just thought, yeah, I can just as well name my PCs after Greek mythological creatures, and even races and cultures within the Greek mythologies and Greek history, like Spartans, Athenians, and such. So yes, that's mainly the reason why I'm choosing Greek related PC system build names. So yeah, Spartan, as you might know, my laptop Hades, yeah, it gives me hell. But yeah, all in all, that's it. That's most likely why I'm using these type of names. Yeah, rumors are that I've backed the Century crowdfunding project for the console size mini. Like I said in the previous section, yes, I did fund a bit for, and with the perk for the first round of April releasing cases. So yes, I'm definitely getting involved because I always wanted to build a nice small mini ITX, truly small console size. So my plans are when I eventually do upgrade Spartan 1.3 to Spartan 2, be it Kaby Lake, be it Zen, Ryzen, be it Coffee Lake, because Coffee Lake is also on my radar. I will most likely take the old parts. I've already sourced a Z97 mini ITX motherboard and a cooler that's compatible. and I will most likely translate all these old components, the i7 4770K and all such, into that build for a portable battlebox type design. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. You might see it happen eventually, although not very fast. It will most likely happen only near the end of the year or even beginning of next year. So yeah, it is coming. So yeah, that's it. All in all, thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, give me a like or dislike, and give me feedback. And yes, submit your questions. If you want me to answer your questions for the next episode of the Inquisition, submit it down below. Ask me your question. I will try and put as many of them as possible into the episode as much as I can, within reason. People, keep it tasteful, keep it clean, and let's not be degrading of people and other cultures. Let's just, type of content you want to hear, not what you think is going to make you famous. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you return to see you in the next episode. Thank you again. Goodbye.